Fucking current event. Oh, 30 seconds. Okay, Mark.
We'll cut that in post.
Yeah. Welcome to Who's Your Main.
Welcome back to Who's Your Main.
Oh!
These are returning guests.
Well, excuse me. Welcome back, folks at home.
Yeah.
I am Jared, and this is the co-host of the co-host, the most host. I'm really bad at this part. I was listening to the past recordings. Anyway, tell them your name. See how I fucked it up? 30 seconds, Mark.
Yeah, okay. Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're just starting the episode right now. I'm Anthony. This is my co-host with the mostest, Jared. Whatever.
We're using that one.
We'll get him next.
Yeah.
We'll get him next time.
Fix that in post, Jared, you piece of shit. Okay. Well, we debated on what to talk about here. We're kind of in this off season, you know, and episodes probably have slowed down coming out. I'm not sure. Post that's a problem for future Jared to deal with. But we were debating on what to talk about. We got a lot of topics here. I think we actually ended up coming up with some stuff for you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you want me to go first, or you jumping in here?
I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Well, let's start because we kind of naturally went this way. So let's take it the way that we naturally did. What have we been playing recently? Have we already talked about this, folks? Playing Dead Island 2.
I'm sure we have.
You know, if they were in the room here, they could remind me of what we talked about.
See, that's really the problem, is the fact that the way that we talk, it's like our audience is sitting beside us. And I feel like there are multiple times during our podcast where you and I both turn and look to the audience and there's no one there. So really, it's the audience's fault why this show is crap.
Yeah, put that in the comments below.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a like on there.
Anyway, we've been playing Dead Island 2. This show's off the rails.
Okay. Dead Island, Dead Island 2, folks, reminds us of Borderlands. I was going to say Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of isometric RPG elements in that game. No. It's a lot like Borderlands. Yeah, because I think the thing that you and I enjoy about it, it's not necessarily even that like the story is that amazing. I think the story's fine. It does its job. I think the gameplay is fine. It does its job. I think what you and I love about games like that is we can kind of turn our brains off and we don't have to. We kind of talked about this in the Cozy Game episode. We don't have to go super try-hard mode. We can just play and have fun and be dumb idiots. And that lets us... That's where we get our enjoyment out of these games.
Yeah. Well, we always engage in the meta somehow. We learn it, we figure it out, and then we just do the opposite of that. I don't know why we do that, and then run around with the fucking jerry cans. I think we did talk about this. Now that I think about it, we did talk about using the jerry can. Well, anyway, folks, we've only been playing it once a week with our friend Lemon, and so last weekend we were like geared up, ready to play. We finally got access to fucking guns. You know.
Very cool.
Anthony.
I was very hesitant because I thought what they were going to do the zombie game trope of like, oh yeah, you get guns, but you only get 3 bullets for the entire game. And if you fire your gun, every zombie in the map is going to start sprinting towards you. No, they were very generous. The mission where you get the gun, they give you a box of ammo and they basically say, go nuts. I thought that was really fun. That was a really cool mission.
You know, I don't know all the criticisms around this game. I don't really know. I mean, we got it from Epic, so it was free on Epic. So I don't really know. I didn't really pay attention to that. It does look like there's a little bit of controversy around it with the fans of Dead Space. Damn it!
Dead Island. Yeah.
2. But so far it's been fun. And that boss that you get the gun, like the one right before you get the gun, that fucking track on that boss fight was a fucking banger, man. I was like, holy shit, favorited right now. Beep, boop, bop, activate. You know? I was like, yeah, okay. Nice. I was all jazzed up.
The sound design in that game as a whole is really good. Like the sound effects are all really good. I don't know. It's such a weird game where I don't think we talked about this, I think last time. I don't think any one of us would enjoy the game solo. Like I don't think we would be like, "Oh, I'm going to play this game for 50 hours by myself." But because we're playing it as a group, we're able to tolerate things a little bit more than what we would. But you're right. I think there are some things about this game that are really, really good, and I think the sound design is one of those things. The combat is so visceral. Like you hit stuff. I was anticipating, you hit somebody and, maybe their limbs fall off or something like that. It's procedural damage. So like if you attack somebody's limb, that part of the limb can break, it can chop off depending on what weapon you're using. It's insane. It's very violent. It's graphically violent, but it's really fun. It's a very fun zombie game.
Yeah, I'm scared of scary games, and for some reason there's like everybody's got like their fear, and for me it's like I'm scared of them fucking zombies, bro. They just they just get me. They just fucking get me, man. That fucking I'm like the whole time. But for some reason in that game, I think it's got that juxtaposition of just fucking cheesy ass writing, just like fucking real lame. It's so bad. The story is just dumb, typical zombie story. I'm the fucking cure. I gotta get across the world. It's like fucking you were talking about. What was that game with the girl?
The Last
Ellie?
of Us. Yeah, The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's like that story, but instead they're like lol the whole way through the game.
That's true. Yeah, that's very
and
true.
So it's like not scary. Like fucking bash the screamers. Shut the fuck up, bitch, bonk.
Yeah, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the remake of Dawn of the Dead, where they were like, okay, this is obviously a cult classic, zombie movie type trope, but then they took it and like ratcheted everything up to 11. I love it, man. I think it's really fun. I think it's a really cool zombie game. Now, granted, like you said, I don't think any one of us are hooked on the story, and we're like, oh my gosh, you guys, did you guys hear what that, voice dialogue just said? Yeah, all of the stuff is delivered through like non-speaking NPCs, whatever they call them, like you pick up audio logs and stuff like that. Whatever. I could care less about the story. I'm having fun playing it, and I think that's all that matters.
Well, I'm not a filthy fucking cutscene skipper, so I know what's happening in the story.
Mm-hmm.
But you said earlier that it's like fucking what did you say, Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
Fucking I was thinking Evil Dead, fucking Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah. That's kind of
I wish it was there, because I fucking love Army of Darkness, man. And Evil Dead is still very good, and I still like those. But motherfucker, if they had taken it there.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point.
But the one thing that I really wish was like fucking, I don't know, I wish Gearbox or whatever the fuck, whoever makes fucking Borderlands, I wish they would fucking put eyes on that modular melee weapon system.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's pretty gratifying. I love being able to like modularly choose the different power-ups. Like, oh, you want a fire sword? Here's your fucking fire sword! Woo! Can you imagine that in fucking Borderlands? You're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking take this fucking giant-ass lightsaber and chop people up. Like, or something like that, or fucking flaming chainsaw or something like that. Oh my god, it'd be stupid in that game. It'd be amazing. I'd be like all day.
To me, the thing that I think is equally as cool is, yes, there's all that customization. You can put all of that stuff on your weapon. I think the thing that we had just unlocked was the caustic upgrade, where it was like spewing acid out of your weapons, which was totally cool. But to me, the thing that I think is equally cool, you're not invested in these weapons. So if you put some crazy upgrade on it and you're like, oh, I just spent all of my resources and put this cool upgrade on this weapon, you can just rip it off and put it on whatever else you want. If you get something new that's better, you just take the upgrade off and put it on the other thing. There's no like hamstringing of your choices. It's just do whatever is fun. If you like using daggers, use daggers. If you like using bludgeoning weapons, use bludgeoning weapons. If you like using guns, use guns. The game's very open in that regard, which is awesome. Even the abilities, yes, the first 10 levels or so, we were all kind of in a class. You do this, and I'll do this. But now that we're level 10, we were making a joke about it when we were playing. We all have the ability to shout and, power up our allies and stuff. We can all drop kick or running slide or whatever. You just pick whatever abilities you want that are fun for you, and you play the game your way. I think that's awesome. That's a great way to design a game.
Yeah, I think this game has a lot of the little bits that you and I like. Like you said, we can find that path to this is how I want to play this game. I love that, finding that path of I'm not that great at the dodge, but I'm pretty good at the block counter. Like, that's pretty fun. I enjoy that little back and forth gameplay loop. That's great. And then you're sitting there, me and Lemon are both blocking. So you guys will block in fucking Dead Island 2, but not in fucking Soul Calibur 6. Yeah, we've always blocked. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we've always been proponents of blocking. How dare you? Yeah. How dare you both, cowards?
Shut the fuck up. No block, only fight.
Every hill is the hill you should die on.
Yeah, I did die on a lot of those hits in that game. But very fun game, but we got hit with some dreaded... This is where I think a lot of the controversy comes in. There's still some definite holes in the polish in this game. And we went to go play it multiplayer, and it didn't work. And we were like, fuck, what do we play? And then Lemon was like, why don't we play Shredder's Revenge? And holy fuck, what a fucking rocket of fun that game is. Bucket, maybe?
Rocket Bucket?
Rocket Bucket. I don't know.
I think the thing that, it was fun because that game kind of saved us. Like you said, we were all kind of dejected that we couldn't play the game we wanted to play. But then this game kind of swooped in, and it was very easy to download. It was a very small game size. But, those side-scrolling Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, those are games that we grew up on. We all played those games at one point or another, whether you were Sega or Nintendo or whatever. And so that was really fun to be able to dive into a game like that. And then, of course, like we do, we just went into full-on turn your brain off mode and started spamming the uppercut button, and to great effect, and getting massive combos of 180 plus hits on the enemy.
I do not know what it is, but without telling you to do the uppercut, you and I were both fucking uppercutting the enemies into the middle of the fucking screen, back and forth at each other without even saying, well, I was screaming the whole time, but not like, hey, Anthony, do the uppercut. It's busted. Bro, it's so fucking busted. You were just bonk. I mean, you both bonk. Lem's like, what are you guys doing? Nothing. Why don't you hit the uppercut button, buddy?
Go ahead. Get you some uppercuts.
Then the protect the combo.
Yeah, the combo.
Dude, some of those combo strings, oh my god, it's just dumb fun. I just love that. I just love games like that. Old beat 'em up games were so much fucking fun. Yeah, they were invented back then to be quarter eaters, but they slowly have come around to just be like mash button, have fun, dopamine come,
Yeah.
Here's a huge roster of characters that don't really fight that different,
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
See, but again, I think when we were kids, like, we ate that stuff up. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my gosh, they have all 4 turtles in there. Well, of course they have all 4 turtles. You know what I mean? Like, why would they not? But like, as kids, we latched onto that, and it was like, oh, they have my favorite in there. And so that you would immediately lock in your pick and hope that nobody else took it before you could get to them. And I think just that, like, primordial soup of our brain, just like all molded together. And you're right. Even without communicating, it was just like, yeah, we're going to spam this move over and over again.
Couldn't believe how effective it was. I was just doing it to fuck around, and then it was like, it was just bopping the enemies all over the fucking place. I was like, this is so fucking fun, dude. Why is this so fucking fun? Of course, it's very fun to just fucking mash the attack button and smash the enemies into the fucking walls. Like, that game feels good to press the buttons, and you want that. You want that in any beat 'em up. You want to feel like that you need to just punch the button through the controller, you know, like just jamming it so many times. And it was just like, oh, this is so fun. Like, oh my God. Of course, that's again right there in my wheelhouse of games that I want to play. So I was ready. John's like, you want to play Shredder's Revenge? Do I want to play fucking what?
It's already downloaded.
Got it, boss.
Yeah, you're right. I think there's something like, I don't even know how to describe it. There's something in all of our brains where when you're playing a game like that, the harder I push button, the more damage I do. Like, that's not a thing. That's never been a thing in any game ever. But in our minds, that's how you play the game. So we're just sitting there mashing the keys like we're, little kids again. And it's just like, yes, go ahead. Hit him with a 180 hit combo.
Oh my God. What, like one of us had like a combo over 70. Everybody would just be like trying to funnel enemies over to him. Get him, hit him with your move. Come on, get the 200. Let's go. That was fucking awesome. Of course, my lust for TMNT games started on the NES and then later on the Super Nintendo SNES. To us young people who abbreviated the system's names for some reason. But Turtles in Time, of course, that was an arcade game, but I still prefer the Super Nintendo version and its soundtrack. I know that probably the arcade one is better, but I've never got to play it, so tough titty me.
That's something that I've always kind of like known about and kind of adjacently been interested in, but it's something that I've never. I think it's just prohibitively expensive and also don't have the know-how to do, is kind of like preserving old arcade games and bringing them back to life and having those original arcade cabinets. I think you and I are both kind of in the same agreement there, where it's just like, if you're going to do that, just have a giant emulation machine. Yeah, heck, a Steam Deck, even better. And just have that as kind of your old school game device. That to me, I think is just a better alternative.
I would love to get like a big pad and like set up a fucking cabinet that could go through old arcade games that I never got to play as a kid. Of course, another arcade game that I was just thinking about, talked about arcade games, and it's flashing me back to that few times that we've been to that Tapper's Bar. The fucking Rampage game. I remember playing that so much on the NES, and it's never really fully come back in a great way. But it was like you play as these kaiju beasts that are just destroying a fucking town. You can fight each other. You can bust up the fucking town. Like, that was a fucking fun game. I would love to play that right now even. We played that on the NES all the time. I loved Rampage. So much fun. Let's bust this building down. Okay, bonk, bonk, bonk.
There was a copy of that. I'm trying to remember which pizza place it was at. It was either in Pizza King or Greeks. I can't remember. But they had an arcade cabinet of that. And I remember putting so many quarters into that every time I would go because I thought it was just the coolest game of all time. And then later, obviously this isn't the same game, but kind of that same genre. There was a game for the GameCube called Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. And it was exactly like that, but it was with Godzilla, franchised characters. Oh my gosh, that game, you want to talk about dumb fun. That game was just mindless fun. It was so good. Now, granted, I don't think it's something that you want to go out and get today. I'm pretty sure it's super expensive now. But yeah, I remember those games being the definition of just like turn your brain off, smash buildings, smash your friends, friendly fire's on, doesn't matter. We're just gonna beat the crap out of each other.
I mean, after talking about the cozy games, I would put this in a cozy game for me. Fucking Rampage, fucking beat 'em ups that are easy to play. You just fucking sit down and start pushing the buttons, and then you can sit and chill with your friends. And it would be so easy to get into them. Why aren't there more of them? Probably because people don't want to buy them. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't fucking.
It really is the joke of the difference between like growing up as a boy versus growing up as, like I'm thinking of my sister when she was a little kid. But it's the old Nintendo 64 Super Smash Brothers commercial of like running through a field and like my sister's enjoying The Sims or enjoying Mass Effect and games like that, and then like I come barreling in there, and just be like, "Hey, you want to play a beat 'em up game?" No, too bad. We're playing a beat 'em up game.
Here's your controller.
Yeah, here's your controller. We're playing.
Just push the A button.
Yeah, you lose.
Are you trying to beat me?
You lose. Play again. You lose. Play again.
Yeah. Sit down. You can't leave, or I won't have anybody to play with. Yeah. We did that to my youngest brother. That's maybe why he doesn't play games with me anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sit down. I'm gonna beat your ass again.
I don't want to. Too bad.
He's a good gamer now. I'm just fucking around. But I don't know. I love old school beat 'em ups. I guess technically there's like a side scrolling fighting game instead of because like Hagar had like fucking what's his boy, Red Cyclone, fucking
Zangief.
Is it Sagat? Zangief? Yeah, there it is. He had like Zangief's moves, didn't he, or something like that?
I think adjacent, yes. Like because one was SNK and the other one was Capcom, right?
Just can't remember. I think we even talked about that one night, talking about Final Fight and what's the other one? Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember.
I don't know.
Anyway,
what are we supposed to remember? Every video game ever? Get out of here!
Oh my god! Fuck. Speaking of that, so when we were still sitting there talking about what to talk about, we wanted to talk about Dragon Ball Z, but of course, that's kind of like an anime, and we don't really talk about shows on here, but we can. I mean, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Who's gonna stop us?
No one can. You want to talk about Budokai for a bit? Well, we can talk about. Talking about those old school DBZ. I mean, there was like a DBZ game every year. You think you explained it to me once?
Yeah.
What was it? Is like
so the way that it worked was they had the licensing only as long as they would put a game out. So if they put a game out, they got to keep the license for another year. And so what they would do is they would just make a game. It didn't matter what it was. So you would get all of these crazy ideas where you would get a random Dragon Ball Z card game and you would draw cards and that was your attack power. Or you would get these fighting games or you would get these adventure games. It didn't matter because they were like, we have to put a game out. Just make something, And so every year there was a Dragon Ball Z game essentially from the time the show was licensing games to, I believe they're still making Dragon Ball Z games now, because they just did it with Sparking Zero, which obviously that's not every year anymore. But for the longest time that's how it worked. Which great for us because when we were kids we ate that stuff up. But yeah, for me, Dragon Ball Z Budokai, those were some of the best fighting games of all time. I remember pouring hours into those games. And again, min-max, I found out that, well, I guess I should back up. So the way that game worked was you got to level up your characters. So let's say I was picking Goku and you were picking Vegeta. Well, my character might be different than your character because let's say I leveled up attack and you leveled up key attacks or whatever. And so whatever you specialized in, that's what your character got better at. And then you could take your memory card to your friend's house, and then that character was, you got to use that character against your friend's character. Well, I figured out that if you chose Cell Jr. and you maxed out health, essentially what would happen was anybody who specialized in special attacks, it was wasted because, they do 5 bars of damage, but my guy only has 1 bar of health. So you did 5 bars of damage and used all of your ki. My guy died, but I get another Cell Jr. and I'm right back in the fight and I get to kill your guy. And it was ridiculous. I got so good at those games. It was unbelievable. I poured thousands of hours into them.
I still remember facing that min-max Cell Jr. It was fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because all I ever wanted to do in that game was fucking do the superpower moves, like fucking Big Bang or some shit.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was my biggest move. See you in hell. Yeah. No, wait a minute.
Go ahead. You just hit 1 Cell Jr. with Big Bang attack. Now you have nothing to do with the other 15 Cell Juniors I have. It was
The
stupid.
Budokai games are fucking awesome, though. And this coming from, we had played, which technically I think we were playing those on emulators, because I don't think those games were ever released. So was Hyperdimension ever released over here on the SNES?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I think they were definitely Japanese imports, but I think that's what it was. I think they were Japanese imports that never got translated, but they were sold here. Because I remember I had a copy of, I think it was called Ultimate Battle 22, and it was just in Japanese, and they were kind of just like, deal with it.
It's in Japanese. Also, you need a Famicom.
Yeah.
We'll import one of those for you, too. Son of a bitch! Yeah, I remember playing those games. I don't remember if they had English patches at the time, but I remember playing Hyperdimension. It was really fun. The one that I do remember playing, which I don't even know the fucking name of it. Let's see if I can look up the name of that one really quick.
Okay.
RPG. Yeah, entertain the folks at home.
I'll talk to the folks at home. Yeah. I think the thing that I liked about those games, that style of game, was that they really embraced the idea that not all of the characters were equal. So you would have, obviously, the good characters were always going to be good. The strongest characters in the show were the strongest characters in the game, and the weakest characters in the show were the weakest characters in the game. I liked that. I think that's a really fun dynamic where, you know, not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the same amount of health. Not everybody has the same amount of, you know, special attacks. I think a lot of times that happens in like Street Fighter, or to a lesser extent in Soul Calibur, the game that we kind of have the most experience with. Those Dragon Ball Z games weren't balanced intentionally. Like that's how it was supposed to be. Krillin shouldn't be able to go up against, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or whatever and win. And that's how the game was designed. I thought that was a really cool thing back then.
Well, plus just seeing all the transformations in a fighting game and not giving a fuck about that game being balanced. Like, fuck off. Here's your balance. Kamehameha.
Exactly.
Boom, blow up the fucking earth. No, I got
and
me.
I want to
That
say,
was Krillin.
I want to say it was Budokai 2. It was either 2 or 3, but they had what if fusions where anybody could fuse. So you could have these crazy fusions, and it was just like, excuse me, you're doing what now? Now, granted, they wouldn't work. Like if you were doing people that shouldn't be able to fuse together, or their power levels wouldn't sync, it would break, and you would get either like fat, you know, the fat fusion or the old man fusion or whatever. But I thought that was still a really cool idea. Like it still had their appearance, and then they would just be like a weaker version of the fusion dance characters. I thought that was such a cool addition.
Okay, yeah, I just looked that up. I didn't even know that you could do that. Budokai 2 did the what if fusions. Those look crazy. The one with Tien Shinhan and fucking, I don't know who the fuck is fused with him. But he's got 3 eyes. It looks like some fucking Steven Universe character. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that Krillin? No, it's Yamcha. Oh my god, it looks crazy. Cool.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That's actually badass. Okay. What a cool feature to have in that game. Holy fuck. I didn't even know that. I played the fuck out of those games. You know, I have strong memories about Budokai 1. Not very good ones about 2. A ton about 3. 3 was probably the best one, and it is so fucking long to get 100% in that game. If you're looking for a long haul and a good time and you are a DBZ fan, Budokai 3 was very fun. Of course, I think a lot of people prefer the Tenkaichi games, but I never had those, so, and I've never gone back and played them, so maybe they're sitting there, well, you should go and play fucking Tenkaichi, and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll try.
The problem with Budokai 2, for anybody who hasn't played it, a vast majority of the mechanics in the game require you to rotate both analog sticks as fast as you can. I don't know if you've ever held a PlayStation 2 controller. I want you in your mind's eye to think about you holding a PlayStation 2 controller, and then all of a sudden the game telling you, as fast as you can, rotate both analog sticks back and forth. Oh, by the way, you're getting hit by a Kamehameha wave. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't a very, very cohesive play experience. And I remember it physically hurting your hands if you played it for a very long time. But you're right. I think the Tenkaichi games, those might have been the newer games that came out after Budokai. Never tried them. I don't know. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're amazing. Don't care. I lived and died in the Budokai era. That's my jam.
I think they kind of set the precedent for later anime fighting games like the Ninja Storm games.
Yeah.
I think
That makes sense.
as far as like how to handle the camera and how and later DBZ games that came out that were a similar fighting style, not like Fighter Z or Fighters, however you want to say that one. But yeah, the other one that was really that I was looking up the name of, I remember playing it, but it was all in Japanese. I think that we ended up getting a translation patch it goes up to the Frieza saga, so at some point it just like switches back to Japanese, and it's just like, we're going off memory here, folks, as far as like how the story goes. But this game was called Dragon Ball Z Super Saiya Densetsu. I said it right, I think.
Nice.
That's fucking bonus points. Anyway, this is a fucking turn-based RPG game. Are you surprised that I liked this one the most?
No.
It was fucking awesome. Dude, like you would get these cards, it would like randomly give you cards from your deck, and you could build the deck. And I don't really remember if you could min-max it at all. It seems like it was a fairly short game, and the story's really chopped up. And it's not really there. It's just like go and fight, and now you can go to the next thing and go and fight, and now you can keep fighting until you win, and you finally get to Super Saiyan or whatever. Spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
And you can fight Frieza. I don't remember if there's anything after that, but I had so much fun playing that game. Oh my god, it was so cool. I'm pretty sure you would get Piccolo on your team at some point too. You weren't just Goku. You fly around the map. Like, it was so cool. I just loved that game.
That sounds cool.
Fucking Lemon brought me back a copy of that game from Japan when he went over there. I was like, sick. I don't have a Famicom.
I think that's one thing that maybe it was a bonus. Like I was saying before, because they had to put a game out every year, they were basically just dumping things out. You know, it didn't matter if they were good, if they were done. We have to get a game out this year. What do you got? And so I think because of that, you got a lot of really cool things that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. You know, like you don't associate Dragon Ball Z with a turn-based RPG, but that sounds like a really fun idea, a really cool idea to, you know, mix those two genres together. And it, you know, obviously this is much later now, but like you said, I played Fighters, and I really enjoyed it. And that's a 3-on-3, you know, tag fighting game, and I thought that was a ton of fun. I actually got the platinum in that game, and really enjoyed it. So I think you can have different ways of playing these games, you know, and still get, because the story is the story. You know, you can't change the story. It's iconic. Everybody knows it. Like you said, no spoilers. If you haven't seen the story of Dragon Ball Z, you're legitimately missing out on one of the greatest animes of all time. And I think everybody knows that story just because we grew up on it, and it was so ingrained in our culture. So really, you can't change the story. I know a lot of the games try to do those what if scenarios, and that's fun, but I don't think you can base your game on that. So you really have to kind of innovate in the gameplay. And so that to me, I think, is what makes Dragon Ball Z games so fun. And like I said, the Budokai games are where I spent most of my time. And I thought that was the first time where I played a fighting game where I was like, this is 1-to-1. What I want to be doing is what is happening on screen. And I know you guys kind of had that in Soul Calibur 2. That game for me was my Soul Calibur 2. That was my 1-to-1, what I want to have happen. You know, I had trained, I had honed my abilities. That's as good as I'll ever be in a video game. And it's gone now, it's dead. Nobody will ever want to play it again. And I'm okay with that.
Hell yeah. I do have another game for Dragon Ball Z that we were going to talk about. It was on the Game Boy Advance. And this game is not a fighting game, and it's not a turn-based RPG. It's an action game. It's called Legacy of Goku. I never played the second one, or maybe I did and I don't remember. But that game was so much fucking fun. Like top-down view. You can charge up the Kamehameha wave and stuff. Charge up your guy. You basically just walk around like it's fucking Zelda and do puzzles and stuff, and then beat up guys in fucking 1v1 fights. It was so fucking awesome. You can punch. I think you get the power pole. I felt like that was one where you get the power pole and you can whack dudes with them. Whack them again. Yeah. Whack them again. That joke is going to live in me forever. I don't care. The voice actors in Dragon Ball during the fucking Rabbit Saga, that shit will live in me. What's his name? Crazy Carrot? I don't remember.
Yeah. I always think it's really funny that Dragon Ball has these things that just like randomly appear and disappear, and it's completely dependent on the plot and whether or not the writers remember that Goku can do it. Power Pole Extend and the Nimbus Cloud and all of that stuff. That's so funny to me.
Fucking Monster Carrot. That was his name. A fucking rabbit that if he touched you, you turn into a fucking carrot. And the rabbit gang, well, you want to spend some time with the real man? Yes, maybe. Fuck, man. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball, go back and watch that shit, too. Actually, just watch the whole fucking series and then report back to me.
Yeah.
That's why then we're going to sit there and we're going to geek out about Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly.
And I'll be like, did you like that part? I did, too. Did you hate that part? I hated that part, too. And then you tried to watch GT, didn't you? Didn't you?
Well, and I'll
turn it off.
I'll add this in because we've got it in our notes, but I think this is an important thing to add, which is to say, I am a very firm believer that now you have to include Dragon Ball Z Abridged in that category of, canon Dragon Ball Z. You have to watch this alongside the other stuff. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is probably one of the greatest YouTube things to ever come out. It's amazing. I mean, they literally took the original, made like inside jokes, so it only makes sense and is funny. I mean, it's not only funny if you watch the original, but like you get more out of it because you know what originally was supposed to happen. It's amazing. They did such a good job. Obviously, they're very talented, but it's just so funny. It's amazing. I don't even know if you can still watch it. Is it still on YouTube?
I don't know. That would be a shame because it's literally a part of Dragon Ball history for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm very tempted to rewatch Dragon Ball in that fashion because it's so fucking funny. Like, they're just the amazing jokes that they made in that. Oh, my God.
Well, and arguably, they did more with characters than what the original show did. They gave more life to some of the characters. I think they did a better job with Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z Abridged than Dragon Ball Z did, just because they actually gave they gave him a reason to have the different fusions, or not the fusions, I guess they are fusions, where he fuses with Kami and he fuses with Nail.
Yeah, and they sit there and talk to him the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it's like, shut up.
The line that lives in me, you talk about the brain rot and like things that will live in you forever. The fight between Piccolo and the androids, I'm talking in the original show, was one of the coolest scenes in any anime ever for me. That was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. I thought it was so cool. I thought it made Piccolo look cool. And then in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, there's a line where he shoots off Hellzone Grenade, and then the android goes, "Oh man, it even has a cool name."
I forgot about. Yeah, that's the Piccolo versus 17 fight, which is still one of the fucking most badass fights in the show. Yeah, fuck me, man. That whole fight, he's like just like trying to buy time or whatever. It's like, fuck, we're gonna die. But goddamn that, yeah, it even has a cool name. Hellzone Grenade, you little baby back bitch. I don't think they ever like called their attacks except for Kamehameha and Big Bang Attack and Gallic Gun, Destructo Disc. Okay, the list is starting to grow.
But Matsukapuka, whatever, special beam cannon.
Fucking special beam cannon. I love that fucking. What was it? I don't remember what game it was playing. Oh, was playing 14, and like all of the ninja spells are in Japanese, and so you get like the super big fireball. I still can't even say it right now. I'm like Goga Chugga, fucking giant fireball.
Yeah.
That's a tribute to the Team 4-star there.
Yeah.
So just so they know, now that I've made it big, I can still remember the people below me.
Well, we're far enough along now. I think we can start bragging about our channel analytics. We're up to 50 watch hours now, so we're pretty far along in the YouTube space.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Actually, thank you to anyone who's listening and is still listening. I'm glad that we're entertaining to you.
Or how dare you? One or the other.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
One or the other.
Scare off the last listeners. I'm turning these fuckers off for the rest of eternity. But I don't know. I think that's everything that I had on the docket.
Yeah, I think so.
Catch us next time.
Yeah.
Same place, same time.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe if I actually play something different.
We're in the off season. We might need a different place, different time.
Yeah, if I could stop playing the same game for more than 2 months, just locked into this like fucking server, this Minecraft server that my friends put together. They've got a mod pack that they're running. And it's just, I haven't played Minecraft since the game released on some random ass website. Like, you had to buy it from that website. I remember being like, that's kind of sketchy. And my friend was like, just get it. It's fun. And then we played it for several months, and I hadn't looked back at it until my kids were like, hey, Dad, there's Minecraft moves pretty good. I'm like, oh, we could play that game. And I bought it for them. Friends were like, do you want to play on this server with mods? I was like, with mods? My brand. Okay. Been locked into that for 2 months. Can't leave.
That's why we haven't been putting out episodes, because he's been playing Minecraft.
We haven't. An episode has come out every week since
okay.
Whenever we started this.
I don't know.
Something.
February? Someone is.
We're Indiana goodbye and the folks at home.
Yeah, let's let them go.
All right. We'll see you next time, folks.
See ya.